there, Leslie Swedish with Moxxi Coffee and the Moxxi Women's Foundation, and today we are meeting with Rita Barney. Rita is the author of a book called Coffee Talk. She owns a coffee shop, and we think she has a whole lot of Moxxi. Thank you for meeting with us today, Rita.
Hi, hey, thanks for having me. It's a great honor.
So I saw on your website that you started out as a chef, correct?
I did, yeah.
And
yes, I didn't become a chef until I was 50. We moved from our small community in Northwest Oklahoma to Dallas. I went to culinary school there and thought I was going to do a French restaurant there, and ended up moving back to cowboy country. And so I did a little French cafe right in the middle of chicken fried steak and baked potato country. Yeah.
Nice. How did that go?
Excellent. Just like it was just a great experience. I downsized right before COVID, so I'm a coffee shop now, but standing room only, great. It just made me feel so energetic, and so it was like such a great message, I think, for women, that it's like, okay, your life's not over at 50. You know, we moved off. I graduated culinary school with honors, and then did my thing, rode the wave, and now I'm on to just another link.
Wonderful. How did the book come about?
Oh, goodness. I have been writing off and on for years. And every once in a while I toyed with the idea of publishing a book, and then I'd go, nah, and then I'd study how to do it. And it's like, well, at this day and age, if you're not rich or famous, like a mainstream big book company doesn't want to pick you up, because therefore, they want instant gratification, instant payback. So I would do Facebook, and I'd think, well, I'm going to put it out there, and if nobody reads it, great. If they do, and they glean from anything that I have to say, well, then that's even better. But I just kind of put a fleece out there one day. I said, if I'm supposed to write and get this book published, then somebody from out of state is going to show up, walk through my little French door, and have everything that I need to know about getting this book published. And I just set it on a shelf, and I waited. Well, it was only 2 or 3 weeks, and a young woman from Denver walks in, and so I'm chatting while I'm making her coffee, and I asked her, it's like, well, what did you do in Denver? And she said, well, I worked for a book publisher. And I went, eh? Chatted, and she contacted her boss, and he read a few of my chapters, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
It's like, it wasn't a huge planned thing, but it kind of was a long drawn out thing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about the book?
The book is life. It is ups, downs, it is tears, laughter, victory, failures, ouchies, and most of all, grace. Grace and love. We all need grace and love. We've all stepped in the doo-doo. We've all made bad decisions. We've all cried. We've all been rejected. We've all been left standing on the street corner maybe sometime or other in our lives. And the chapters are really short, and basically it was either something that I experienced or somebody that I loved experienced. So I just turned those into learning pages, and then I have little bits of what I call the espresso factor, and I ask a few questions, and it's kind of like, well, with you doing coffee, you understand when a espresso is made, it's the pressure that is put on that hot water that makes the deliciousness, right?
Yep.
That's kind of what we are. It's like all these little tidbits that I put in there, I call the espresso factor, because it pushes us. That's what I want, is like, I don't want any of my mishaps to go wasted. I want somebody else to glean from my mistakes, and maybe even from some of the wisdom that that I've experienced out of those snafus. So that's basically the book. There are little mini short chapters of some will make you cry, some will make you laugh, and hopefully all of them will make each woman that reads them feel a little bit more comfortable in their own skin and know that life isn't over no matter what life is thrown at you, that there's always grace, there's always hope. And if they don't feel love from the tribe they're in, maybe that they can feel the love that I pour out in the pages of the book.
Very nice. I like that. I also love the cover. I was playing around on your website earlier, right before we got on, and I love the imagery on the cover. It's the same imagery that I use with our foundation, and it's very much in line with what we're trying to do, is just
awesome. Yeah.
Support women. So I'm gonna have to be sure to get that book in my cart. It's available on Amazon, I saw.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna want everybody watching to know where it's available so they can take a look. And when you say that you have the espresso thing, is it kind of like journaling prompts?
Yes, it is.
Self-reflection.
It is. And I tried, it's like I didn't want the book to be canned because, let's all face it. My bookshelves are lined with books that written by really great women, people that have something good to say, but it's also cliche. And I've had so many people go, wow, you really stepped out of the box when you were so blunt, so bold, so... that's what I'm hoping, that yes, there are little journaling moments you can take advantage of, but hopefully your journey through the book won't be so canned and boxed as maybe, the other books out there.
Great. I can't wait to check it out. So you're also a motivational speaker. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you contracted by corporations? What does that look like?
Oh, I just wing it. I'm totally, I have to be blunt and honest. It's like, I just wing it. I pray that, doors will open for me, and they have, and some have shut. And so each day I just kind of like the way the book ended up. I just ask. I just ask, and I believe, and I hope, and the book came to fruition. And so I'm just really believing that I'll pick up some speaking engagements, because I really do believe that I've got stuff to say.
Yeah, and people want to hear it. I think there's very much a movement happening right now. I don't know why my phone is talking to me. Sorry about that. So I'm sorry. I think that there's very much a movement happening right now for people that are looking for what it is that you're doing. We're looking, especially women, for other stories to show us that we can do more. It's exactly why I put this whole Fearless Female program together, so that I can also collect people's stories in order to show women what exactly they can do, what we're capable of. So I think that's really
absolutely
fantastic.
And I think it's fabulous what you're doing. It's just that's my core belief, is like no minute should be wasted in my life when I could be helping, speaking into some other woman's life. And maybe you've ran into this, but I find that so many women don't really understand that they have a purpose. There was a lady that came in for a coffee this morning, and she was, picked up my book, and she was flipping through it, and she asked me, like you did, well, what's the book about? And I mentioned purpose, and she said, wow. She said, I'm just really wondering maybe if I have a purpose. you know? And so I just want every woman, no matter, like for my granddaughters, I've got 2 granddaughters in college, and I'm just like on them all the time for them to understand that they don't need to wait for somebody else to tell them what their purpose is, that they were born with that purpose, you know? And women that walk in the cafe, the coffee shop, it's like, you have a purpose. We all have a purpose. And I think that women across the world are starving to accept themselves and know that they're good enough to have a purpose.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's quite profound right there. Good. So you said you were 50 when you went to culinary school?
I was, absolutely, yeah.
What did you do prior to that?
I was a hairstylist.
Me too.
25 years hairstyling, coloring, cutting. And back in that day, it was like perms and bouffants and, you know, stuff. But I just, we just up and sold the salon. My husband sold his business. And we moved from, like I said a little earlier, from Northwest Oklahoma to Dallas, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth. And I looked into culinary school, and he started a new business. We thought we were going to die there. I was looking to do cafe parody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in the historical arts district. And I guess God had a different plan, because we ended up back in Northwest Oklahoma. You know, but we just, when I was done doing hair, I was done. 25 years, loved every minute of it.
How are your shoulders?
Well, you know, honestly enough, I recovered. But then I went from that to chopping vegetables and stuff. So I don't know. I guess I like laborious work. You know, it's like you're either doing hair or you're cooking. So.
Well, I think, you know, I was a hairstylist prior to COVID, prior to doing all of this. And I think one of the greatest things about being a hairstylist is the number of people that you come in contact with and the depth to which you come in contact with them. You know, I mean, they could be sitting in your chair for hours, and maybe they're only in your chair once or twice, but, you know, they leave little pieces behind with them. And I think that it is probably very triggering for stylists. I feel like a lot of stylists go on to do lots of different things. It has to have something to do with the number of people that you come into contact with every day.
I totally agree. Yeah, I feel like sometimes there were people that would make appointments with me, and I'd say, okay, they'd come in, and I'm like, well, do you need anything done? And they go, no, but I knew that you would be my encourager. I knew that you could feed my soul, and I'm needing something right now. So we just pretend to chip away at their hair a little bit, and just like you said, you know, they're there, and it's just a great opportunity to pour into other people. Well, and sometimes it was men. You know, it's not just women, but it's a great opportunity to support and uplift and love on, and just be there for other women that are walking through rough times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we know that, the last couple of years have been hard times. Oh, the hardest, I've lived a lot of years, and it's the hardest. It's this last 2 years has been the hardest, but it's also been the most rewarding, because I've ran across so many people that needed help, and I was in a position to help them.
Oh, that's great.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, I didn't start this business until 2020. So the coffee company launched in September of 2020, and the foundation, I really didn't figure out how everything was going to work until March of 2021. Even though like the basis was there, the small pieces didn't come together until March. But one of the things that I keep is recurring is, it seems to me like I'm finding a lot of women who are starting things during COVID, which wasn't something that I set out to do. It's just the way it ended up. And there's so many people that have actually taken great things from this horrible situation that
Absolutely.
is global. It blows my mind. It's hard to want to say, it's hard to want to talk about like such wonderful things that are happening, not happening, but that it was created by this horrible virus. But really, it's the silver lining, I guess. So many businesses have been started, and so many women have found themselves and decided that were deserving of more and capable of more. That aspect of it is almost it is a blessing from a very difficult, trying time, to say the least.
Absolutely. And, while you're talking this, I just think this is a small epiphany that could not that corona, that thing that we have feared, could not that have been used as an espresso factor for all of us to step out and do bigger and greater things?
Absolutely.
It was that pressure that was put on us. We weren't willing to set back and let life happen, even though things looked bad. I know that when things started shutting down, I drew a line in the sand. That I remember the specific day, and I thought, and I said to myself, Rita, you are not going to shrink back. Here's the line in the sand, and you're not stepping over into depression and woe is me, and it's all over. That I'm going to allow God to do something in my life, even though it looks horrible around us.
Oh, we just lost visual.
I don't know what to do.
Are you on a phone? Oh. Okay. Let's see if she comes back. I don't know what happened there. Let me know if you get an email from her. I don't want to stop streaming, because if I stop streaming and I start again, we lose it. We end up losing it. So we'll just see if she comes back. Ah, there she is. I had faith you would be back.
I don't know what happened. It was a glitch.
Yeah, it happens. There's a glitch in the mate. I've had it happen once or twice before, and I lost the tail end of the interview, so I didn't change anything. There's just going to be a slight pause in the middle. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So you were saying that, COVID has created the espresso factor, and I think that you're absolutely right. I think that a lot of good has come out of a really bad situation, and I think that there's a really big movement happening right now for women to support other women, because I think for so many years too, by going from maybe more of a domestic type of role to working more and really getting out in the world more, it created an atmosphere of competition that wasn't really good for us.
Absolutely.
So I think breaking out of that and being more supportive and is going to do wonderful, wonderful things. The future is female.
The food, exactly, for sure. Yeah, I guess I kind of grew up in an age as I was, I guess, starting to raise my kids, that females got very competitive and almost mean about it. But I can see that there is a paradigm shift now, and I'm in great hopes that instead of being concerned about what somebody else is doing, we can just be so confident in our own purpose and our own God-given ideas that we run our own race and let everybody else run theirs.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
It takes everybody to make a whole. Whatever the whole is, it takes everybody to do their part. So you are absolutely spot on. Yeah.
I think it's great. So do you have any intentions of writing any more books? Is there another chapter to the life of Rita Barney, or what's on the
I hope
horizon?
so. I hope so. Yeah, I'm contemplating it. I'm contemplating. You know, it's years lived, and I just want to put that out there for anybody that can learn from it. So yes, most definitely. And I've had requests from the publisher to do it. I've had requests from some of the readers to say, "Hey, I'm sitting on the edge. When's this next one's going to be out?" So I'm going to have to, I guess maybe that's my goal. I didn't make any goals or resolutions for 2020. I just wanted to wait and see what happened without me, you know, getting out the machete and trying to knock down stuff. I just like to let things present themselves to me. But most definitely for 2022, why not?
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said, this is going to go onto the blog for the Moxxi Women's Foundation on January 28th. We're going to tag all of your social media. We'll make sure to have links for your books so everybody can find it easily. It's just simply titled Coffee Talk, correct?
Correct.
Yes, so if you don't want to wait for the blog to come out, you can find that book on Amazon. It's called Coffee Talk by Rita Barney, and it's got the strong woman on the cover. I'm very interested in reading it myself, and we'll get some coffee sent out to you to say thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, and we'll be in touch.
Alrighty.